Walton here.
Hey, what's up, Dallas? How's it going?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Doing great. Just your excitement level of getting the season started here in a couple days.
Oh, unbelievably excited. We've been putting a lot of time and a lot of work preparing for this moment. And now we have an opportunity on Wednesday against a good Williams and Mary team that'll be prepared for us, and we'll be prepared for them too. We get to showcase what we've been working on.
What was it like kind of getting a taste of being back out on the court in front of at least some fans, right? I mean, it wasn't a packed house, but it was probably more than you saw last year. Was that different? And are you looking forward to seeing even more, at Joel Coliseum on Wednesday and Friday?
Oh, no, I loved it. It's something special about hearing some actual fan noise rather than some artificial fan noise, which was what was going on last year. Sometimes there's some applauses happening while the other team's scoring, but now it's correct, and it's like, okay, it's a lot more energy, a lot more livelihood inside of the arena, and it's kind of special to kind of showcase what we can do in front of our fans.
I also talked to Coach Forbes earlier, and he was talking about how he met with kind of you and Isaiah and Davian, some of the older guys on the team right around the time school started, and talked to you about kind of having more of a leadership voice and all of his good teams that he's coached. It's kind of the players coach each other as much as the coaches do. Do you remember that meeting? And if so, do you remember kind of your takeaway on it?
Oh yeah, I mean, so one thing about that's special about our team is that we do have a lot of veteran guys here who played in college basketball games before, but we also have a lot of young guys too who have not ever played in a college basketball game, and so it's important for us as the older guys to make sure that we remind our younger guys to come prepared to practice every day. Just because, I mean, we can't take any days off because no team is going to take a day off against us. And so if you come in with that and bring that same energy every day in practice, then you're going to bring that into the games as well. And it's just kind of making sure that, whenever things are going bad or may not go the way that the younger guys anticipate, it's on us to kind of, tell them that, it's okay. Like, you got to have next play mentality because you can't be harping over that things. I mean, things that may have been going well for you in high school or something like that, you can't get your head down if they don't go that way. So it's kind of like making sure that we're there for them so that when we need them, they'll be there for us later in the year.
One of the things that kind of we point to in the media and say, like, this is going to be a boost is that you and Alondas both come from teams that were in the NCAA tournament last year. But does that translate in the way that we perceive it, or does that even register with Lucas Taylor or Robert McRae? Do you kind of get what I'm asking there?
I think I'm kind of get what you're alluding to. I mean, I think the difference between I think Lucas and like some of the younger guys, they came from having a lot of success in high school, and so that's kind of they come into college expecting that same success. Whereas Alondas and myself being on tournament teams, we realize that your season's not going to go like this the whole time. You're going to have every team that was in that tournament this last year hit some adversity, and definitely had some moments that kind of challenged their identity. And I know Coach talks a lot about that. And they had to lean back on their principles and what worked for them in order to get back on track or overcome the adversity. And so I think that's kind of the biggest thing that Alondas and I bring to the team is that, even if they're going on a 15-point run, where our mood never changes. We're like, all right, they made their run. Basketball's a game that runs, and we'll make a comeback right
here. Alex, question for you. How special was it for you to be selected as one of the team captains for this team?
Oh, it was very special. I mean, I love all these guys. I mean, they're all a great group of guys, and to see that they voted me as a team captain, it was a very special moment because it meant that respect that I have for them was reciprocated. And so it was kind of a very warm feeling finding out about it, and I was like, all right, well, now I got to use my voice. I mean, it's not like nothing that I'm going to do is going to change or anything like that, but just being acknowledged as a team leader was pretty cool. I'm gonna make sure I come correct every day for them for that.
Dallas, you've been part of, back-to-back 20-win seasons at Colorado, made the NCAA tournament last year. Does this team have the characteristics that you think could make a run to be included in the NCAA tournament this year?
Most definitely. One thing that I noticed about all the successful teams that I've been on is that every single guy in the locker room has a certain respect and love for each other. And I think that this locker room group is very close and also very talented. And, there's not a lot of selfishness in this locker room. So as I told everybody is that on the greatest teams, it can be anybody's night. And if it is somebody's night, I mean, John Wooden with the one of the best quotes, it's amazing what can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. That's one thing I tell the guys is that, it could be Lucas's night one night. And so we gotta have Lucas preparing every day, like a starter. Like it's like David, it could be D Will's night, it could be Alondis's night, it could be Zay's night. I mean, Jake, everybody knows how great of a player he is. If he's off, then somebody else has got to step up. And on the greatest teams, and you'll see it this year, anybody can go off at any day. So everybody has got to prepare for that.
Dallas, isn't it kind of, I guess, easy for teams to be close and have good chemistry before the wins and losses hit? I mean, how do you know that what you're experiencing now is something that will, I guess, maintain itself during the good and the bad of the season to come?
And yeah, that's kind of like what I was talking about before is that, adversity is going to hit. And so that bond that you build in the preseason and even like right now, it's going to be tested. And if that love is true and genuine, which I believe it is, it will overcome the adversity that is bound to hit during the season. And it's just making sure that we're doing everything every day. I mean, anytime somebody makes a mistake, you want to talk to them in a way that they're going to receive the information, not trying to put guys down, especially this time of the year. People are missing shots. You don't want to be like, oh, you shouldn't take that shot anymore. No, you got to build them up. Be like, no, yeah, I know you missed that shot, but I know you're going to make the next one. Everybody on this team works on their game. I believe in everybody, and I think that even if things are going bad, they're going to get it correct.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Dallas.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Dallas.
We got Zay here.
Carlos? You're on mute if you're trying to talk. I can't hear you. You're on mute, Les.
Turner.
I was letting Connor take the lead on this one.
All right.
Zay, how's it going?
Great. How about yourself?
We're busy, but that's a good thing.
What's the up for?
Let's start it with an easy one. And how did it feel to be voted a team captain?
It was good. I mean, I think I've progressed from my freshman year until now. And I think the guys look at me as somebody who's super experienced. I played at every single ACC school, home and away, twice, I think. So, I mean, like I had the experience of playing at this level, and the guys trusted me and understand that I know what I'm doing on the court. And, I just try to bring it every single day and make sure that I'm leading them in the right way. Make sure I'm instilling confidence in them every day and making sure I'm giving them the tools to be as successful as possible and making sure that we come out victorious every time we step on the floor, even in practice as well. So.
I mean this with all the respect in the world, but I don't think you've ever had a problem talking, but has your voice had to change like in these last 4 years and how you talk to teammates?
Yeah, I mean, as you get older and then experiencing it from being in that position of like having a leader and being the freshman, you understand like, okay, like some guys, I came in my freshman year and Brandon and one of those guys are the leaders. Like they have to be able to adapt to certain people. Like you can't yell at this person and you can be hard on this person. So as a leader now, I feel like I've done a good job of understanding, all right, this guy needs to be pushed a little bit harder because I know that he can take it. I know that if I yelled at him and he's going to respond well. Some guys, I know if I yell at them, it's going to be a bad response and they're going to respond negatively. So changing my tone of voice and understanding that like my job isn't to yell at my teammates, like that's coach's job. Coach's job is to yell, scream, do whatever he needs to do to get the fire going. My job is just to continue to instill confidence, make sure that if they make a bad play, make sure that they, listen, play's over. It's in the past. You can't go back in the past and change the play. Just got to move on to the next one. And I think I've been doing a really good job of that, and I think the guys have been responding really positively from that leadership.
How important was it to have a full summer and a normal-ish summer and not be socially distanced and not be seeing these guys in person until you were back on campus?
Yeah, I mean, that COVID was just crazy. I mean, it was amazing to have especially with so many new guys. I mean, it's a little bit easier when you have, a whole returning group of guys and you guys understand you guys games. But we had almost 12 to 13 new guys. So you're building chemistry and building a relationship with the guys off the court, and then at the same time understanding who they are as players. Obviously you do your research when they come and when they get recruited and commit, but you don't know who they are before you step on the court. So as the summer is really the time for me to get to know the guys and get to know them as players and as people. I think we've done a great job of that and just continuing to just build on that, the foundation that we built in the summer.
Zay, when you talk about getting to know each other and how these new guys kind of meshed with you all on the floor, what's it like playing with Jake on the floor, with you two guys kind of playing the 3 and the 4 together? It's a lot of size, a lot of versatility. How do you like playing with him?
I mean, he makes the game super easy for me. He's a facilitator. That's what he does. He facilitates. He's big bodied. He's able to get into the paint and make shots for me a lot easier. I mean, I've been shooting the best I've ever shot in my life here in the past maybe 3 to 4 months since I got back from my injury, and it's mostly because of Jake and the guards. I mean, they're able to just create shots for me that I don't have to create for myself. And that for me allows me to make the game a lot simpler for me. When I drive the ball, it's very quick decisions. I don't have to do too much. I'm 2 dribbles max to get to the basket. If not, kicking the ball and making sure that I'm making the right plays. And I mean, Jake does a good job. He's super unselfish. And we just feed off each other. If I hit one, I know somebody's going to help on me and I'm going to kick right back to him. So that unselfish play, I think, is radiating through the entire team. And we are looking really good offensively, which is really good.
Zay, I know it was just an exhibition game, but what does it say about the makeup of the team that the 3 captains really didn't show a whole lot against Winston-Salem State in terms of offensive production, but that it kept trucking right along?
Shows that we're a very, very, very deep team. That is the definition of it. For you to have your 3 captains who are going to be 3 of the guys who are going to impact the game the most in the entire season, it shows that you can have, not only do we as captains have confidence in everybody else on the team, but it shows that they have confidence in themselves. We were yeah, we're good. We didn't play good, but we were happy that everybody else was playing well. And we had confidence that guys who were coming off the bench were going to come in there and impact the game. So when you have that type of chemistry and the relationships that you're confident in the next man up, no matter how you're playing, you're always going to be at this level of not happiness, but joyfulness, because you know that the person next to you is playing well. And that's is really key, because at times in teams you can have guys who are upset that they're playing bad. But this team is just, no matter who's on the court, we're always just happy for somebody that's playing well. And we're going to continue to just feed them and feed that fire until, somebody, they either put it out or we win the game. So.
Anything else for Zay?
Always a pleasure, buddy.
Appreciate you always.
Thanks, Zay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.